And, well, yeah, we broadcast our rituals, and this is one of our rituals. So, welcome to... Hello, we'll just make everybody dizzy for a second. Welcome to Ancestor Feast 2022. The Ancestor Feast is a very important portion of the Wheel of the Year to me and within our worship cycle. And that has to do with the fact that we are all connected, and none of us got here without those who came before us. None of us are who we are without our ancestors, for good or bad. What you have all put in front of us are memories and thoughts and connections to celebrate, to recognize, and to share with everyone else, to share that memory, that joy, that connection. And it's all really fucking amazing and wonderful. Thank you so much for everything you've brought. Because these are all things that are from memories and heartfelt things. We all have stories behind each of the dishes we've brought and or the things we've added. And anyone who is interested and wants to offer a quick story behind what they brought, I would ask them to please feel free to do so. Go ahead and think about it for a minute, and we'll start a second when people can do that. But everything here has a reason and a connection to our past. I'm going to go ahead and start with mine. And mine is a little different than everybody else's, and that's because after so many years, I made a very firm decision for once. So, well, I make a lot of firm decisions, but, okay, they're hard decisions, but that's beside the point. That is entirely beside the point.
Oh, Gemini.
I know. So, almost everything here, and there's nothing bad in this, is a carb. Or sugar. Or, come on in. It's okay.
Hi.
We're not too deep in it. We're rolling. Just
I got stuff to add.
awesome.
Here, maybe?
Perfect. Add it to the end of the line. So, all of it's carbs. And there's nothing wrong with that. Personally, my family history is full of carbs. The day it happens, will be a 5th generation diabetic. So all the sugar, I totally relate to all of it. Every year for Ancestor Feast, I've done something like make biscuits and gravy, or brought apple strudel, or a big pot of mac and cheese, or one of the other delicious, decadent things that my family ate that was bad for them. And things that make me sick, literally, if I eat them now. And I thought about it, and I realized that the actual thing for me to do was to share with everybody what I eat on a daily basis. As a result of my refusal to become diabetic, and a result of me choosing the surgery I chose to not go down that road. And what I'm sharing are, I kind of live on protein cookies and cookie bars. They're all protein, 1 gram of sugar in some of them, but like 9 grams of protein. All of the good stuff. And so I want to share it with everybody. And this, it's not super sweet. There's chocolate to it. The brownies taste a little bit like Tootsie Rolls.
Nice.
So it's got a nice consistency to it. But I wanted to share my role as a generational curse breaker. because I will not become diabetic if I can help it. I watched my family lose feet, fingers, toenail problems. My grandmother lost her sight. All of these things due to diabetes. All of these things due to carbs and sugar and not eating right. And I would rather only be able to eat those cookies and candy bars and not have to deal with the incontinence or any of the other problems that comes with being diabetic. And like I said, my sharing in this is as the curse breaker. I will not be the 5th generation. I will not let it continue past me, and I nag the hell out of my son about it too. Because it's not a path to go down. We have enough food problems with ADHD. We don't need any from the diabetes. Because it leads to diabetes. But that's what I bring. I would ask other folks to bring lighter-hearted stories and connections, and we'll start with Lynx.
This is white chicken chili. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of a reverse generational thing because the first person to make it in my family was Drew.
Oh, right on.
And it was so tasty that I said, hey, that would be good for Samhain. Because last time I brought stew, or for me, I brought stew, so we're doing chicken tonight.
Right on.
With cornbread.
Is
Right.
also the
And
thing that I
cheese.
won the chili competition
Yeah.
at school with.
Right. Right on. Right on.
And cookies.
Excellent.
But that's my contribution.
I brought scratch-made macaroni and cheese. When I was a very young child, my grandmother would make it for me as a special treat when I would go visit. And then my mom would start to make it, and her recipe was Cheese Whiz and Ritz crackers. And as I have played with it and I've learned how to cook and I've really learned how to expand into my kitchen witchery and that kind of thing, I have built it into a much more hearty and almost borderline gourmet side. This one is double cheddar, Gouda, and pepper jack blended together with a scratch cheese sauce, and then cheese it and Ritz cracker breadcrumb topping. And I also brought mulled wine. My family actually has a very long lineage of not vintner, but wine collection. And that was something that my father and I bonded over when I was 16. I had my first glass of ice wine, which is a very, very sweet dessert wine. My 18th birthday was celebrated with a 1974 bottle of port. And all of the big landmarks in my life have been marked by a very special bottle of wine with my dad. So I wanted to bring that special bottle of wine to my new family, my grown family within the pagan community.
Thank you for sharing.
I brought my version of ambrosia salad. It's made with whipped cream, jello, and pineapples and mandarin oranges with marshmallows. It normally would come with coconut. I love coconut. I just don't like it in the ambrosia salad. It does have pecans.
And it's about you living your life beyond your ancestors.
It's about,
so, yeah.
It's got pecans, so if you do have a nut allergy, I'm sorry. But for me, it's a holiday thing. We have it every Thanksgiving at our family, and it's been a big thing for us every year. It's like my kids even enjoy seeing it. When I was little, I enjoyed seeing it on the platter for Thanksgiving meal. So it's one of our favorites, and we all enjoy it.
That works.
I brought 11 muffins. Because I don't want to make it dark again, but my brother really liked them, and then he was killed this year. He was killed in a hit and run, so I just made it because I miss him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not that deep. I just don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mine's pretty simple. I mean, it's hot German potato salad. My family is very, very German. And I'm not a cook. I don't cook very often, so I didn't know what to make. I actually texted my birth mom, and I'm just like, hey, what's something that's cheap and easy to make since I'm on a budget? that would honor our ancestors, and she sent me her own recipe, her own version for hot German potato salad, something that she would make for the family quite often when I did live in Louisiana with her. So it's something that I didn't grow up with, but I still kind of grew up with it as soon as I actually got to live near her. And it does, I'm not entirely sure the whole history. I've found a couple of different versions, but I know like Germans technically didn't see potatoes as food for the rich, it was food for the poor, but at the same time, whenever the German settlers came to America, they would oftentimes make hot German potato salad because it was easy and it was cheap to make. So I guess just family recipe that has ties to my ancestry.
Yeah.
I figured it was a nice little
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Alright, guess it's my turn. So I brought a pumpkin roll. It's Native American. They used pumpkins quite often. So right here it says Native American and Indians used pumpkins as an important part of their diets for many years before the Pilgrims landed. Native Americans enjoyed the inner pulp of the pumpkin, baked, boiled, roasted, and dried. They added the blossoms to soup, turned dried pumpkin pieces into rich flour, which is how they made the pumpkin roll. So it's got a cream cheese filling, and it's just really simple: pumpkin, nutmeg, cream cheese filling.
Yummy.
It's so good.
Yummy.
Okay. So we brought shortbread. It's Scottish shortbread. I have Scotch-Irish ancestors, and the actual recipe was from an actually Scottish ministers who I'm trying to think. It was in the 70s sometime when my mother received this recipe from this Scottish pastor. And then it has been the go-to shortbread recipe. We all, like the whole family, well, there's 5 of us. I'm the youngest of 5 siblings. And we all know how to make, and we'll send it around. We don't always make it each year, but most of us do make it each year. And then on top of that, since Rhonda and I have been dating, which started like August last year, so just a little over a year, we've started making not safe for work shortbread cookies. We didn't make them this time because we just moved. Our entire household is chaos.
Oh wow!
Right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
We made the traditional
Okay.
kind of shortbread
Next
cookie.
time we will bring you the NSFW.
Okay. All right.
They're really
All right.
cool.
Yes.
Right on. Right on. Excellent.
But yes, so it's a very much a family recipe, but it's also got a tradition that we're establishing. Rhonda and I are establishing together. So.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm also dealing with generational obesity, so I also had the tummy shrinking surgery. So I brought high protein things. So I, being an agent of chaos, brought dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets.
Hail the ancestors!
Some being of chaos is somewhere in my family tree, I'm sure of it. So I couldn't tell you exactly which person, but I had my eyes set on a few people. One in particular lost his eye in the Battle of Bloody Creek in the Revolutionary War, fighting against the Americans. I'm pretty sure it's all come down to that. All
Okay.
comes down to that.
All right.
And dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs.
Is it made from real dinosaurs?
Well, you know,
Now it
it's
is.
really hard.
Made from
Technically, yes.
chicken.
Wait, chicken.
Yeah.
Gator. Let's see what's a dinosaur.
Gator?
The flesh of our ancestors.
Gator's really good.
My grandmother was the youngest of 13 and lived through the Depression and never let anybody leave her kitchen hungry. We also grew up in Wisconsin, which means if you're hungry, you get cheese. Real cheese, not that Velveeta garbage that's actually plastic and dinosaur juice. So I didn't bring good cheese because we're in Indiana, but that's what the offering is tonight. It's cheese and sausage and bread, good hearty Pollock food.
Right on. Right on. Praise be. And these are our connections. And this is what we share, and this is I'm very grateful for everything that everybody brings and shares from their past and into their future. And thank you very much. We're going to start, I guess, with a plate over here and just kind of go that way. And otherwise, I'm going to guess that ritual itself is going to start at 9. So that's probably best. That way we have an hour to eat and an hour to digest. But yeah, thank you very much. And please enjoy the food. It's amazing. It shows a lot of love. It is a lot of love. So thank you very much. Samo to be.